There are various ways to deploy soldiers in combat, but the most efficient method is through an airborne jump. During an airborne jump, paratroopers check their gear and line up while securing themselves to static line ropes. Once the jump master signals, they step onto the open ramp one by one. An MC-6 parachute is released as they exit the aircraft, aiding in their descent and ensuring a safe landing at the designated drop zone. The method of deployment varies depending on the mission type. In cases where the drop site is not suitable for an airborne jump, the United States military chooses to utilize a special purpose insertion and extraction system technique for quick deployment and extraction. In a SPIES mission, soldiers descend to the drop site using ropes while the helicopter remains stable in the air. Before commencing the mission, soldiers secure the rope inside the helicopter's cabin with hooks and clamps. The U.S. military conducts air assault operations by deploying soldiers onto the battlefield via helicopters. The first step involves the helicopter landing at the pickup zone to load troops and gear onto the aircraft. After takeoff, it flies to the drop site where paratroopers descend using a rope to reach the ground. They quickly regroup, carry out their mission, and then prepare for extraction operations. Typically, the U.S. military utilizes the helicopter rope suspension technique for insertion and extraction operations. Soldiers secure themselves to the rope with harnesses and gloves for a strong grip during insertion. The helicopter remains stable in the air above the drop zone as soldiers descend one by one. They rely on their hands and legs to control their speed while sliding down the rope. Extraction follows a similar process, with soldiers attaching to the rope and being lifted by the helicopter. Paratroopers undergo specialized training to become proficient in the HRST technique during courses focused on special purpose insertion and extraction, as well as fast rope insertion and extraction. These courses are designed to equip soldiers with the skills necessary to safely insert and extract personnel in difficult and confined terrains, such as jungles. Troop insertion and extraction is not only limited to land operations. Throughout the history of naval warfare, it has been a challenge to swiftly deploy and retrieve troops from enemy territory. Nevertheless, this challenge was overcome with the introduction of incredibly adaptable helicopters. The United States Navy employs innovative methods like helo casting to effectively carry out troop insertion and extraction at sea. In a demonstration, the Marines leaped into the water from a helicopter hovering 10 feet above the surface. Once in the water, they utilize flotation devices or flippers to stay buoyant, enabling them to approach the operational area discreetly. The Marines and sailors undergo a 12-week basic reconnaissance course to master insertion and extraction methods. The training program is structured into 3 stages. During the initial stage, Marines work on refining individual skills like navigating obstacle courses, swimming in the ocean with fins, and practicing helicopter rope suspension techniques. The second stage focuses on small unit tactics and strategic mission planning, while the third and final stage revolves around the maritime mission at the Naval Amphibious Base Coronado, California. In this concluding stage, Marines showcase their helo casting abilities by performing helicopter jumps, deploying to the designated mission area, and accomplishing mission objectives before extraction. The Marines demonstrate their additional abilities such as beach surveillance, maritime navigation, and boat maneuvers. Once they plunge into the water, the Marines are transported using a rigid inflatable boat, RIB, or a fast assault craft, enabling them to stay inconspicuous until they arrive at their mission destination. Typically, the Marines are equipped with a Zodiac inflatable boat, which is either released directly into the water from a helicopter or delivered to them in a waterproof bag after they dive in. The Zodiac boat offers speed, agility, and effortless assembly, enabling the Marines to swiftly reach their destination undetected by enemy forces. The paratroopers of the U.S. military receive specialized training at the Air Assault School to master the necessary skills for insertion and extraction missions. Approximately 15% of the class does not successfully finish the first day, also known as the 0 day, of this rigorous and fast-paced training. The 0 day includes a difficult obstacle course, The training is divided into 3 distinct parts. The first part is called combat assault, where soldiers are taught about air assault operations. The second part, known as sling load operations, focuses on the handling and loading of equipment using slings. Those students who show exceptional physical abilities in the first 2 parts move on to the final stage, referred to as the rappelling stage. In this phase, the soldiers will complete 2 rappels on the wall side of the school's 34-foot tower, 9 to 12 rappels from the open side, and 2 rappels from a helicopter like the UH-60 Black Hawk, hovering at around 27 feet. They will perform all rappels without combat gear, to prepare for situations where they may find themselves without equipment behind enemy lines. In the second part of this stage, the troops showcase their fast roping skills. They execute a controlled descent and hold steady for 5 seconds from a 12-foot platform and a 34-foot tower, with or without combat gear. The training is rigorous, with only around 45% of the group successfully completing it each time. Those who make it through receive an air assault badge. It is not feasible to carry out attack operations in urban areas with fighter planes, so modern helicopters are employed for missions within the city. Helicopters possess great maneuverability, making it convenient to operate in confined spaces. Special operation forces frequently showcase their skills in urban settings using helicopters, including tasks like deploying soldiers on rooftops, mid-air deployments, conducting weaponry training, and much more. The soldiers gain a vivid understanding of how air assault operations would appear in a hostile urban setting through these demonstrations. Additionally, the paratroopers receive training on nighttime insertion and extraction, which improves their skills and boosts their confidence in maneuvering their parachutes and safely landing in the darkness. On the night of April 14, 2023, paratroopers executed a nighttime air assault and simulated combat in the Yukon training area by jumping out of the CH-47 Chinook. Their ability to operate in extreme Arctic conditions highlights the exceptional skills and resilience of the U.S. military's paratroopers, showcasing their adaptability to harsh environments worldwide. Ever since World War I, paratroopers have proudly displayed their wings. However, in today's world, air assault operations have undergone a revolution, leading to their training in conducting air assault missions of various scales. Through rigorous training, they develop both physical and psychological strength, enabling them to overcome any challenges that come their way. The U.S. Armed Forces employ a wide array of insertion methods, demonstrating their preparedness to handle any mission regardless of the landscape and circumstances, granting them a strategic edge over adversaries. That concludes this video. I trust you found it enjoyable. Remember to subscribe to this channel to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time.